Speaking of bad reviews...
Hey everybody, welcome back to Whiskey Central. If you're new here, my name is Shayla, and today we're reviewing Lagavulin 16. Oh yeah. Okay. I just love it so much.
It's so beautiful.
So I've got some history for you today, but if you want to skip around to other parts of the video, there's timestamps in the description box below. And if you enjoy whiskey reviews, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any new videos. So this bottle was donated to me by Stanley Swagner over at the Mash Bill. He knew I loved Parks and Recreation, and I've actually wanted this bottle since way before I ever got into whiskey, so thank you so much, Stanley, for this bottle. Lagavulin Distillery had its official start back in 1816 when farmer and distiller John Johnston converted the illicit building into a legal distillery. There was 2 distilleries on site, Ardmore and Lagavulin, and they combined into one distillery in 1837. John Johnston died in 1836 and Alexander Graham, the spirit merchant, took over. In 1861, James Mackey & Co. came in as a controlling partner. After Mackey died in 1924, Mackey & Co. became White Horse Distillers, and Lagavulin was the main component in the White Horse blended whiskey. In 1927, White Horse and Lagavulin joined Distillers Company Limited, which would eventually become Diageo, and Lagavulin became one of Diageo's 6 classic malts in 1988. There was another distillery on site called Malt Mill. In 1908, Peter Mackey built a small replica of the Laphroaig distillery after losing his sales agency there. He wanted to put Laphroaig out of business, so he made Malt Mill. The problem was, it didn't taste anything like Laphroaig. It was closed in the 1960s, and what remains is the visitor center at Lagavulin. Lagavulin means hollow by the mill in Gaelic, and it's one of the 3 Kildonan distilleries on the south coast of Islay. It's located in between Ardbeg and Laphroaig, and it's in this beautiful bay where you can see the ruins of the Dunavig Castle, which was a former stronghold of Clan MacDonald and then Campbell, but it was bombed into the ruins that you see today. The distillery has 2 wash stills and 2 spirit stills and run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to keep up with demand. They also have longer distillations. The first distillation is for 5 hours and the second distillation is for more than 9 hours. The stills at Lagavulin are run very full to minimize copper contact. This creates a heavier body whiskey with more fusel alcohols. They also have a wider cut, which bring more of the heavier phenolic flavors into the final spirit. Alright, so let's get into the details of this whiskey. This bottle will run you about $80. It's owned by Diageo, and it's located on the southern coast of Islay in Scotland. It's 16 years old, 43% ABV, and is made from 100% malted barley from Port Ellen Maltings. It's about 35 ppm, which you could say is a medium peat level, but the way that Lagavulin produces this whiskey leads to heavier phenolics than the ppm might suggest. That being said, the longer the whiskey is in the cask, the more the peat diminishes, so I'll put a little graph up here to show how peat diminishes in the cask over time. Speaking of casks, this is aged in mostly refill ex-bourbon barrels with a little bit of ex-sherry in the mix, and sadly it is colored and chill filtered. But I'm going to pour a dram of this, let it sit for about 10 minutes, and I'll be right back.
Gin and tonic, please.
Belay that order, Dana. Lagavulin neat. Clear alcohols are for rich women on diets.
Hey!
Alright, I've let this open up for about 10 minutes. Let's go on the nose. So the first thing I get is that iodine medicinal kind of thing. And it's weird, the way that they produce this, you think it would smell more like peat, but it's a really nice balanced peat. It's not super intense, it's not overwhelming. And then under that, there's just this wonderful, like, vanilla cream, apricot, like dried fruit, apricot direction, lemon. Yeah, lemon and honey. Yeah, a little bit of those dried sherry fruits. I know there's not that much. It's not like a sherry bomb or anything like that. It's just kind of a little bit of kind of fig and apricot kind of underneath all that stuff. And then I get this note that I love so much, you guys. It's like confectionery sugar or something like that. like this powder confectionery sugar, super sweet. I get a little bit of tea in there as well. And then there's this cool earthy note to this. So it's like campfire, smoky earthiness. So instead of, I don't know, a lot of other Islas have kind of different notes than that, but this one's more on the earthy direction than kind of like the sea direction, if that makes sense. So, all right, I could nose this all day. Let's go for a sip. Cheers, guys. How weird. I mean, and I don't mean weird in a bad way, but the nose is not the same as the palate. The palate has seaweed, to me, which I didn't get seaweed on the nose. I just got it on the palate. Let me just see real quick. Maybe a little bit on the nose, but I wasn't expecting it. So you get a little bit of seaweed. There's kind of this umami thing, a little bit of salt even. Then you get that oak spice, baking spice. A little bit of that apricot, dried fruit kind of thing comes on. Just a little bit. But it's not, I don't think it's as sweet as you would think. You get that confectionery sugar on the nose and a little bit of those dried fruits, and you get a little bit of that, but it's actually, I don't know, it's like a drier dram. It's not as sweet, but let's go for another sip. Cheers. So the body's a little bit light. I think that 43% is kind of coming through. It's got a little bit oily texture, and then a little bit of spice on the back. I would say medium finish. I mean, like, the peat is going to kind of hang on your palate for a while, but I would say medium finish. And I think this is pretty well balanced, honestly. It's got a little bit of peat, a little bit of dried fruit, like, it's just kind of nice. But instead of going to my recommendation, what we're going to do right now is add a little bit of water to this whiskey. All right, guys. Got a little bit of water. Where's the dropper? Do I have a dropper? So, normally for my reviews, I do the water off camera. So, I'll do a dram, analyze it, then I'll do another dram, add water to it. So I'll play with the water and just see what it does. And usually it adds a little bit of, it kind of opens it up a little bit. Sometimes it kind of drowns it. It depends, but with this one, I thought it was noteworthy, so we're just going to add a little bit of water. So it's 43%, so you can't add too much. I'm just going to add a little bit. Come on, dropper. There we go. So it probably ends up dropping it down to like 40%. But the cool thing that this does, I know you're not supposed to spin it, sorry. Bad habit. But the cool thing that this does is you get confectionery sugar on the nose, but you don't really get it on the palate. It's a lot drier on the palate and not as sweet, which kind of bums me out because I like that sweet peat kind of combo thing. But when you put a little bit of water in this, it actually brings out that confectionery sugar note. So I'm going to give it a try. Cheers, guys. Yeah, it's so cool. It doesn't drown it all the way. I mean, it might just a little bit, but you get that little bit of sweetness. The dryness kicks way down. I really like it. The other thing that I always do for my reviews is pour a dram, taste it, analyze it, whatever, but then I will leave the glass overnight. It might still have a little bit of whiskey in it, whatever, but I'll leave it overnight, and then I smell it the next day and just kind of see if I can get new notes on it. This one was not a very good experience, so if you guys have tried this, let me know if you get this note down in the comment section down below. It's like smoked Gouda cheese that's like overly sour. Like, Gouda cheese is like kind of creamy and wonderful, but it was like soured smoked Gouda cheese, super smoky Gouda cheese. That was kind of what it was for that 12-hour experiment. Luckily, this does not taste like that, so I'm going to finish this dram up and I'll be right back with my recommendation. Okay, so this is going to be slightly rambly. Sorry, guys. I feel like I have too much to say and I don't want it to be clean. Well, I want it to be clean, but it's just not going to be, so here we go. So, part of me, I just think I'm always going to love Lagavulin just because of Parks and Rec, Nick Offerman, this was the bottle that I wanted to be my first Isla whiskey. Turned out to not be. I tried something else first, but I just have loved this bottle without even tasting it. Like, it could taste like garbage water and I would drink it and say that it was good. No, actually, I would say it was terrible, but I would still love the bottle. And I don't know, it's just always going to have a place in my heart. That being said, this is only 43% and it's chill filtered. The amount of stuff that is going on with this whiskey is pretty crazy for 43% and chill filtered. Like, kudos to Lagavulin for creating something that is actually pretty damn tasty, even being 43 and chill filtered. This one, I feel like this is a weird time to do this review. I should have probably done it in the fall or winter. This is like a fall-winter dram for me. It kind of feels weird to drink it here because it's always like 80, 85 degrees here and super muggy and hot and wet. And I feel like this is like dry, cool, it's snowing outside, you got a campfire going. I feel like this is what this whiskey is for. So whenever I have it, I'm kind of like, this is weird. Like, I like it, but I don't feel like the environment is right for it. So it never really like fully connects, but it's only because of the weather, not because of the whiskey. So if you like this bottling, you'll probably like the Lagavulin 8, the Lagavulin 12, or the Lagavulin 11 Nick Offerman edition. They also have Isla Facial bottlings and Jazz Festival bottlings. So if you're ever over on Isla and you're at the Isla Whiskey Festival or the Isla Jazz Festival, go ahead and pick up one of those bottles. This is another little rant for my recommendation. I don't know what to recommend. So normally in all my reviews, I recommend another distillery. So it's like, oh, if you like Lagavulin, you might like this. It's kind of hard to do that with Lagavulin for me, probably because I'm not experienced enough to know another one that's good. But for me, if you like Lagavulin, you'll probably like all the other Isla distilleries. Ardbeg, Laphroaig, all of them. Port Charlotte, you know. But if you like all of those, you might not like Lagavulin. It's kind of, for me, it's a different profile. It's kind of in its own little, like, there's Isla and then there's like Lagavulin is in its own category for me. Because this is like a campfire-y, earthy, smoky whiskey that doesn't have those more like maritime, super cappery, smoked eel fish kind of thing. It's just kind of earthy to me. It's like an earthier peat. Whereas like Ardbeg or Laphroaig or Port Charlotte kind of have that more maritime thing. So long rant to just say, if you like this, you probably will like any of those. So just go try a Port Charlotte or an Ardbeg or a Laphroaig and see what road you want to go down. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Whiskey Central. Next week, I'll be talking about Scotch whiskey regulations and the difference between single malt, blended malt, single grain, blended Scotch whiskey, all of the things, because I realized that I didn't know enough about it. And if I don't know enough about it, you guys might not know enough about it. So we're making a video. And then next week after that, in 2 weeks, my patrons will decide what whiskey I'm going to review. So if you don't want to miss out, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, leave it a like. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. I feel like this is a long shot. But Nick Offerman, if you're watching, let's go to Isla together. Doesn't have to be a big deal. I don't even have to bring a camera or equipment or a cell phone. Just hit me up. Email's in the description box below. I'll pay for your ticket and all your food and your lodging if you want. I probably don't love Lagavulin as much as you do, but, you know, if you're watching this video, if you find this video, it was meant to be. Because I only have 3.5 thousand subscribers right now, and if you happen to see this, it was meant to be. So, hit me up. I kept stumbling over my words. You guys would not believe how much whiskey I had to drink.
Nothing wrong bringing the old me back. The mama know about these sell trophy glass.
I'm like, oh darn, I messed up. Gotta take another sip. good stuff. I still got a recommendation to do. We'll see what we can muster up. There's 2 distilleries on site. Ardenhoe. God damn it. It's Ardmore, not Ardenhoe. Shit. They told me it was just a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. I don't think those are the lyrics. Okay. But it's just a doozy. This part's a doozy. It's about the stills and I can't get it right. I know everything, but I keep messing up words. Which, motherfucker. And we're gonna go with that. Because I have said 2 wash stills and 2 spirit stills 175 times. Around, I think, more than 9 hours. I said I think. God damn it. Okay, we're done with the history. Woo! Hardest part of the video. Done. Boom. By the way, that like 1 minute clip of history takes me like 8 hours. Not to film, just to research. So, it's 1 minute, but it saves you guys 8 hours. So there. Okay. Am I not ready for this? I mean, I've run through this 17 times and I fucking can't get it. It took 2 tries, but we got it. Okay? Oh, we're doing it right. We're doing it right for Lagavulin. Mackie & Co. became... Damn it. Damn it. Almost had it. Son of a bitch. Company Limited, which... Nope. John Johnston died in 1836, and Alexander Graham, the spirit Okay. Thank you to my patrons for making this at least somewhat my job. Because if I wasn't making money, it would just be a hobby, right? But if I'm making a little bit of money, it just goes right back into the channel right now, you know? But I love my job, this right here. Because I got to research this for a whole day. Maybe even a day and a half, because I did it over a couple of days. It was so much fun. Like, I love learning about the history. I just love figuring out these little nuggets, like, about how they run their stills and, like, how long they run them and their cuts and the history of the, you know, how it became from an illicit building to a legal distillery and the whole malt mill thing with the Mackies and I don't know, it's just so fun. Said, fuck it. The salesman's like, what up? What's your budget? I'm like, honestly, I don't know nothing about mopeds. He said, I got the one for you. Follow me. Ooh, too real. Chromed out mirror, I don't need a windshield. Banana seat, a canopy on 2 wheels. 800 cash, that's a hell of a deal. I'm headed downtown. Cruising through the alley. Tiptoeing in the street like Kelly. Pulled up, moped to the valet. White walls on the wheels like mayonnaise. Dope. My crew was ill, and all we need is 2 good wheels. I got gas in the tank, cash in the bank. Bus pass, you got a moped, man. She got 1988. Mariah Carey hair, very rare. Mom jeans on her derriere. It's me, the M, the AC, the K, sounding like a French pimp from back in the day. I take it to Ponderay and I watch her skate. I mean water ski, ollie ollie, oxen free. I'm cruising down 4th and they watching me. I do a headstand and eagle lands on my seat. Well, hello, the baby, the kicks that ain't free. So do you or do you not want to ride with me? In the black street, running around the whole town. The neighbors yelling at me like you need to slow down. I'm going 38, man. Chill the fuck out. Mow your damn lawn and sit the hell down.
I regret nothing. The end.